Baseball is dead.
Rest in peace.
Dallas, are you ready to answer for your crimes?
What do we got? What did I do?
I think your internet cut out yesterday or something. There was an incident where you maybe have left the podcast early, or it was right when a certain conversation topic came up and you just disappeared.
At the end of the podcast?
No, it was right in the middle, actually. It ended up being right in the middle. It was the end of the podcast for you, but not for me and Jay. Yeah.
I don't know. At the end of the interview? At the end of Ravi's interview? I left.
It was right around that time. Yeah. But it was like it was weird because it was like right when we brought up the A's being the team that lost to the Chicago White Sox, the of 21 consecutive losses. It was like right when we brought that up, your internet just kind of went out.
We had like one question
no
for
idea
you.
what
and
happened.
then-
Yeah, was it like it was a bad internet situation or?
I can't really put a finger on it if I'm being real. Like I felt like I left in time.
Are the tectonic plates shifting where you are?
Yeah, it's like, what's going on there? Is that is that a camera issue? The background's not moving though.
No, I'm not sure what you were. Not sure what you're talking about. I left at the end of the interview, and I thought we were done.
Well, that's perfect because you're here now.
Yeah. A lot of get too full slate today, Jared. I didn't catch much baseball. A flight to Toronto. Yeah. So wherever you'd like to start. I mean, Bobby Witt has been blasting baseball.
Oh, he's been doing awesome.
Jackson Holliday, great return. We go a lot of places.
Jackson Holliday is definitely a topic that we're going to get to today. But yeah, I feel like, we can't really move forward until we complete what we intended to talk about yesterday, but we weren't able to because you had to go. The A's had a day game,
You want to rehab? You're trying to talk about the past? Is that what you want to do? You want to dive in all the way into the past? You're trying to jump into a hot tub time machine is what you're doing. Early.
It's kind of like on a Thursday, we get a lot of series conclusions. Like if a series started on Monday, then they conclude on Wednesday, which means we talk about them on Thursday. Today's Thursday. And I feel like, we can talk about the swinging A's. They took 2 out of 3 from the Chicago White Sox, the 2005 World Series champion Chicago White Sox. The A's took that series from them 2 out of 3. But that game in the middle there, what happened?
Oh, I think the White Sox, for the first time in almost a month, scored more runs than the team they were playing. And that's just baseball, Susan. That's just, sometimes it happens. Not for the White Sox. It's few and far between, but sometimes it does happen.
Do you think it was a mistake to play that Taylor Swift 22 song while the White Sox were taking batting practice, do you think?
It's just never a great idea to throw that kind of stuff out in the ether until things are done, till things are final, or at least as close to final as they can. That's tough.
If it was like 18-1 in the 7th, you can probably do that. But like during batting practice before the game, feel like that's a mistake. That was a misstep by whoever did that.
The baseball gods listen. They listen. They've got a direct line to every in-house PA, and you start bumping fucking feeling 22. That's you're tugging on Superman's cape. You were asking for it. Yeah, and the White Sox, they answered. They responded.
Is Ozzie Guillen Superman?
They said, not today. Today is where we draw the line. 22, not here. Not this group. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, no. I think the baseball gods would have let that slide if it was any other organization but the A's. They're like, buddy, you cannot laugh at anybody. What do you
can't do this?
No.
That was the baseball gods coming down and grabbing the slingshot out of the hands of the Oakland A's. Go, what are you doing with it? You're gonna put your eye out.
Somebody.
If I let you have this, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're gonna hurt somebody else. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Yeah. Just we don't need to dive super deep into it, but I got to tell you, I wanted to ask about just the vibe, right? Like, because it's not often that you're going to talk to people And like what was crazy is Gavin Sheets' father played for the Baltimore Orioles, who in '88 had lost 21 in a row, and they ended up beating the Chicago White Sox to break that streak. So we were just sort of having the conversation, like, like what's that phone call like between Gavin Sheets and his father? Like, hey, I know it's day 21. You guys haven't won a fucking game in 3 weeks. Just keep going, man. Just keep going. Like, what do you say? Can you say anything? Like, is there any advice to heed? Like, how do you do that? But I mean, we've all been in a room. We've all been in a situation where you can feel the air just sucked out of a room. You're just like, this is the fucking last place on earth I want to be right now. And I think, to the White Sox players' credit, the room hasn't necessarily felt that way. And I think that's easy to say in the face of battling 3 straight weeks of losing and just tell people, oh, we're okay. We're all right. Not a big deal. We're just forging ahead, right? Each day's a new day. And that's true to an extent, but everybody sees what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. And you have to have a certain level of cohesion and a certain level of investment that we are heading in the right direction together if it's going to be worth a fuck showing up to the ballpark each day. And that's what these guys are, as I said, to their credit, trying to figure out a way to do. I mean, do I like the fact that we got Benintendi hot? Like, Benintendi went from not hitting baseballs to hitting baseballs out of the ballpark. Like, I'm not huge on that. But you know what? We talked about how their best player, Jay Hay, did another great video on how their best player on this team is performing as lackluster as he is. What could you conceivably expect from the rest of the group, who has seemingly kept their feet in cement as opposed to trying to slug out and move forward, take these steps forward? It feels like everybody just sort of hit pause on their development all at the same time. And now maybe you're starting to see a guy who, in Benintendi, he starts to get going a little bit. I mean, it's not like there's a season to be saved here. It's just a matter of finishing the season with some fucking pride. Finishing the season feeling like a big leaguer instead of feeling like you're just going through the motions.
I've obviously never been on a big league team, but I would maybe argue that there is a season to be saved here, because I think avoiding the worst record in what amounts to modern baseball history is something to strive for. I would think if you're looking for, like, bulletin board, like, let's figure out a way to motivate ourselves for the remainder of this absolutely dreadful season, like, not finishing with 40 wins, or getting to 41 or whatever the goal is. Like, well, Jay, I think that's something.
No, and you're right. And what I meant, I was just,
I know what you were saying.
Like,
I know what you were saying.
No, but you bring up a valid, you bring up a valid point. And I think I'm uniquely equipped to handle this and address this because of what I just experienced last year, which is a team go through exactly that, right? We're not saving a season in terms of standings, but we are in a point where we can grow together. We're going to be together next year. There's a large part of us that are going to be here next year. So we need to figure out how we're doing this together. And what we don't want to walk into next year as the group who set the record for being the worst team in baseball history. That's what we don't want to do, because we're never going to be able to get out from underneath that. That will be a saddle that we will wear for the rest of our playing lives, our playing days afterwards. Oh shit. You remember Grandpa Jay? Yeah, he was a part of that shitty Sox team. Lost more games than fucking anybody, right? The Cleveland Spiders, worse than them. Like, we don't want that. So yes, there is something. That's why I said pride. Finish the season with pride. Finish the season with a level of integrity that you can be proud of and that you can take into the postseason. And so setting those marks, whether your clubhouse is the only room that has the number of games that you need to win to make this salvageable, then fucking so be it. But put that number up on the wall and let's go fucking get it.
What's the vibe like over there? Like, are you
it
down
is.
the
It's
field
a combination of
for BP? Like, are they? Was anyone smiling or laughing before the games? Like, what's it like?
No. To be honest, no. And I think it's because you're in the middle of Like, you're legitimately in the middle of the fog of war at that point. You are 3 weeks in to having lost every single time you've taken the field. 3 straight weeks, dude. Like, that is a mental hurdle that a lot of athletes never even come close to facing individually, let alone collectively. Like, players 1 through 26 are looking at each other going, you haven't done enough, I haven't done enough, and it's been for 3 weeks. And so you're trying to do anything you can. We're not going to take BP for a week. I don't care if we score 10 runs tomorrow. We didn't take BP that day. We're not going to do it. Like, we'll do anything. We'll try fucking anything. So I think what I saw was players, grouping wise, you're trying to figure out a way to do something different than you did yesterday so you can bring something to the table that you haven't been bringing, that nobody else has been bringing. I mean, you're legit looking around going, I know I can't keep the ball in the yard. Well, I know, and I can't hit the fucker out of the yard. And well, I can't even catch. I know, and you might be able to catch it if I can fucking throw it to you straight. Like, we're not doing anything. We're not doing anything correctly. I mean, I was looking at their stats. Jason Stark came out with this stat, and it was 3 days ago. But heading into that game Tuesday, the White Sox had lost 6 of their last 7 games that they had taken a lead into the 7th inning. 0-55 after losing after 7 innings. Like, they just so many, like 0-33 when they had scored first. Like, they just, everything that would give you a vote of confidence, there was a statistic to tell you that the White Sox were going to shit the bed. Like, scoring first, still losing. Late lead, still losing. Comeback lead 6 innings or more, still losing.
So just to put a stat bullet on this, ESPN actually had an article yesterday where one of their guys ran simulations on the rest of the season for the White Sox with his computer modeling. Bradford Doolittle is the guy. And this was prior to yesterday's loss. So they were 28-88 at the time that these numbers, so they've gotten marginally worse is my point since then. But he was checking out their percentage chances of hitting certain like win or loss benchmarks. And while that Cleveland Spiders stuff is kind of, it seems like they've avoided that fate. He gives them a 14.2% chance at 38 or fewer wins, which would break the modern era record for win-loss percentage, which is currently held by the 1916 Philadelphia Athletics, who went 36-117. So obviously more games being played now, but 14.2% chance at 38 or fewer wins. And he gives them basically a coin flip of the modern era record of 121 or more losses, which would break the Mets record as we know. So that's what the White Sox are facing right now. Like, that is something they can't cruise to avoid history. I'm going to be tracking this personally with as much enthusiasm as I am tracking any single postseason race. I mean that. I'm going to be checking what the White Sox are doing every single day for the rest of the season.
For the rest of the season.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, and I'll be honest, man. There's not a lot of,
appreciate greatness in whatever direction it is. When you see it. Sorry, go ahead, Dallas.
No, there's not a lot of optimism, man. To be honest, there's just not a lot of optimism. I mean, like the kid that threw last night for him, the kid that pitched last night or yesterday, Davis Martin, threw the ball well, but like in terms of like bright, shiny, oh damn, let's pay attention to this. Just don't know there's a ton of it.
Not there. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'm more interested in the psychology of it. Just showing up to the yard every single day must be a nightmare. Like, well, that's what a catch-22 to be like, I get to put on a big league uniform today. This is my childhood dream. I'm the 1% of the 1%, but I do have to play for the White Sox. So there is that caveat.
Do you see that Miguel Vargas? Like, I know it was like an unfair short little snippet of somebody sitting there, but he looked so sad.
Oh,
he
yeah.
looked so sad.
And it was they had him they had that shot and rolling out, it was to end the game. And I said, and the A's have absolutely balled up and pounded the pale hose and put him in a corner once again. Dude, and then the shot was just him in the corner, just like,
poor fucking guy, man.
Get
just
me
like,
the fuck out of here.
Just a dude, like, you know, maybe bursting onto the scene of like this world-class organization, and then you get a knock, you get a call on your phone from your agent telling you that you've been shipped to this backwoods, like,
right.
You know, fucking dumpster fire of an organization where you're just like, good luck, dude. Enjoy the rest of this season. You're now part of this stink that is associated with the worst team in MLB history.
Do you think they had Bobby Jenks call him? Hey, you're going to be a White Sox. I'm like, seriously, could you imagine that though? Like, that's a great, like, Miggy's like, buddy, I'm looking at the fucking future here, and if I just get to the big leagues at any point in time, like during a season, I got playoff share money coming my way. I got a potential ring coming my way. Like, and now, hold on. I'm going where? South side of LA, South LA, South Central LA. What do you mean I'm going to the South side? Chicago. Oh, fuck. Really?
I know, like, Vargas wasn't exactly killing it with the Dodgers, and like, you know, maybe his immediate future is more guaranteed in his new situation if there, you know, we're trying to look at it as a half full situation. But to Jared's, you know, fascination with the psychology of it, like, just the idea of being in situation A in your job and then basically waking up in situation B, which we're all on the same page, would be utter misery in the relative scheme of your profession. It's just like, that doesn't happen to the like 99.99% of people who work for a living. And we all get it. We don't have to do they make millions of dollars stuff, but like, once you get past they make millions of dollars stuff, they still have like I have to get up and work element and psychology to it.
You're still a human being.
Yeah, and you still have to find motivation. And now you're on a team that is like forget what you want to come in there with, what sort of attitude you think you can walk in with and maintain your positivity to everything we're saying. Like, oh, you guys, like, I think Dallas said, like, oh, they're doing okay clubhouse wise. We all know that, like, of the 30 clubhouses, that's not the coolest one to be in right now. And so you're walking in and it's like, fuck, man, like, this vibe sucks relative to what I was coming from. Like,
you're excited. This is the tough part, is because you have to compartmentalize your emotion on so many different levels. You're excited to be in the big leagues, and that should never waver. That should never, ever waver. But there does come a point in time where the physical reality of your situation starts to affect the mental reality of your situation, because it's the mental side of what you're dealing with that is supposed to help you overcome what you're dealing with physically at times, right? Think about what we talk about with players rehabbing. What's the hurdle? Not often is it the physical aspect of the process. It's the mental aspect of the process that ends up becoming the biggest hurdle for athletes to clear. So what's the mental aspect of this? Is walking in every day and ultimately the results telling you that the work you're doing is ineffective, that the work you're putting in doesn't matter. So how do you get up and get excited about going back to the place that is continuing to tell you you are a loser and you are a failure? That is a very difficult way to make a living. And Jay, I'm glad you brought that up, because in the corporate world, there's folks who might not like their job and what they do, and you can wake up and you go to work and you punch the time clock from 9 to 5, and that's miserable for people. And at the end of that shift, though, what they do get to do is walk away. And whether or not the report gets finished or not, buddy, I'll get to it tomorrow. Like, the clock is punched, it's done. And guess what? Whether the fiscal year ends up looking a little differently for the bosses up top or not, I'm unaffected. I'll have my job. I'll be there tomorrow. Those losses are not on me. That's for the corporate world to deal. That's for the bosses to deal with. And as a player, well, those losses are on you, right? You're part of that corporate entity that is sort of wearing that impact. So you got to try to figure out a way to be positive about the work that you're putting in that seemingly is not paying off at any point in time. That is a hell of a place to be mentally. And I want to make sure that we give credit to the guys that are going through this, because I don't know how many other areas of life where you could have a job built on failure, fail as much as they are failing, and still wake up and feel like, you know what? Today's going to be great. Today's going to be fantastic.
I think it's time for us to lay out, because I think Jared's got something for us.
No, I was just thinking, because there's
Oh, then I have something.
Oh, okay.
The White Sox have fired their manager.
Oh yeah! Wow. Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Sorry, I misread your smirk. I thought you had.
Yeah, Morosi. Yep.
So the one game winning streak that was short lived has now resulted in the exit of Pedro Grifol.
Yep.
Per team statement, the Sox, quote, will begin a search for a new manager immediately, with a replacement expected to be announced after the conclusion of the 2024 season.
So who's the interim? They're just going to have a bench coach slide in?
I didn't see anything about an interim.
Nothing in the statement speaks to that right now.
All right. So, Jay Hay, you talked about the Nepo hires that are a part of the White Sox institution. If this is a move, what move, I guess, signifies that the White Sox are trying to steer away from that? Is any move outside of an internal move an acknowledgement that might be what they're doing? If they decide to go out and get somebody, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, sure. I think that their interim decision here is going to be in-house. You're not going to go out and pull somebody from outside.
It's going to be AJ Przinsky
to bring them in. So who's going to be that dude that they roll in next year and are like, all right, because look, this hire, in my opinion, has to be somewhat similar to a collegiate hire in this day and age, because with the transfer portal and the NIL, what you need is someone that you can bank on being here to create this relationship between you and the front office, you and the university, but create a culture. All right. This is who we're going to be moving forward. And I can't have that person think that they're going to come in and make that kind of change in 1 year with an option for the second year. I need to know, if I'm the manager, that I'm being committed to, and I need the organization to have been very open in making that commitment to me so that we can roll up our sleeves and go to work, because this manager is going to have to be a part of what's going on in the farm system. They're going to have to be a part of what's going on in the draft room. It's not like they need autonomy, but they need to be involved if you're going to make the changes necessary for this organization to capitalize on where they feel like they're at in a minor league system and move themselves forward. That has to happen.
I mean, if I was a White Sox fan, I would be most encouraged if the hire was somebody who had absolutely nothing to do with the organization and had no previous connection to the organization in any way historically. That would be
Juan Uribe.
Wait, that's your no.
That's my pick.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got connection.
I know.
Oh, okay. So you're going against my.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen Juan Uribe since he retired. I feel like it would be perfect for him to emerge from obscurity to manage the Chicago White Sox.
Does Uncle Paulie come back?
No, you like
Canerico.
Paul Canerico.
Put it this way.
Scotty Pods.
Put it this way.
That's to me. That's just what I don't. That's what I don't want. I think.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Anytime,
right. I mean,
and not even for the fact that he's tied to the organization. Anytime that the managerial job gets talked about here in Boston, everyone's like, "Oh, well, tech. Put Veritech in there." It's like, I don't want a legendary sports figure in this town to manage the Boston Red Sox, because it's just it's a job that gets a lot of criticism and hate, and people call for your firing all the time. Like, I don't want that for tech here in Boston. Paul Canerico has a goddamn statue outside this ballpark. Imagine it's not like Paul Canerico coming in there and being like, all right, we're going to turn this thing around. Like, no, you're not. Like, it's like, that's why, like, I just quote tweeted the statement from the White Sox about the firing being like, yeah, you just threw a cup of water at a raging inferno. Like you firing the manager has nothing to do with what this team is going to do or not do next season. Nothing. This is a top-down roster, organizational ownership, like everything. It's an everything issue.
And that's that's ultimately the answer, I think, is that there's no managerial hire that I think will really and truly matter until the stuff above him presumably is addressed. I just think if you want a shade of optimism, if you're a White Sox fan, I would be more encouraged by bringing in an outside voice that, unlike the Chris Getz hire in the front office, is not just elevating somebody who already has a relationship with the Reinsdorf family or is a previous employee of the Reinsdorf family. So, but ultimately, it's not going to matter until the other stuff is addressed. And I don't. Is Chris Getz a good GM? Is he an average GM? Is he a below average GM? I have my hunches. I don't know the answer. I for sure do not know the answer yet. So and I don't think any of us do.
Well, but this right here, this is undoubtedly a decision that can either help give you perspective in a positive light, or this could be an opportunity to fumble.
Yeah, and I think it's I'm okay taking what seems to be the consensus opinion of White Sox fans that Grifol was not a good manager at face value. The record is what it is. He obviously was given a very bad team this season in particular, but it didn't seem like there is no data point to that says, well, he did a good job here, so maybe we could extrapolate that in a better situation. Like basically everybody who played on the team that they needed to develop, some of which predated him, but did not. And the team was objectively fucking terrible. Kansas City was objectively fucking terrible on the field. So I'm fine with that. It's just so you may get a dead cat bounce sort of thing with your new managerial hire where you're going from the 29th or 30th best manager to anything is better than that. You know what I mean? But it's not going to matter given the talent pipeline and the organizational structural ownership issues.
And that is every reason why I said the individual that they hire needs to have a commitment made to him from the organization. And this is I hate to get super dramatic and be like, look, if you don't make this decision and it's not the right one, your organization is toast. I hate to get to that point, but it's if you are staring at another decade plus of just floundering and you don't like that idea, then you have to believe that this decision that you're about to make right now has to lead to a complete and total shift in the organization. It has to. And the reason it sucks is because I think we all feel I don't know that that's going to happen.
The statement is very generic. As we all recognize, our team's performance this season has been disappointing on many levels, said Chris Getz. Despite the on-field struggles and lack of success, we appreciate the effort and professionalism Pedro and the staff brought to the ballpark every day. These 2 seasons have been very challenging. Unfortunately, the results were not there, and a change is necessary as we look to our future and the development of a new energy around the team.
So, in regard to the energy around the team at the Coliseum, it's a unique setup for the opposing coaching staff in terms of where they're at, physically located in the building, and where they have to go, how they have to go. It's
down the hall, right?
To get to, well, now, Jared, the coaching staff, the coach's room is right next to the elevator, which is also right next to the lunchroom. So at any given time, you could be walking out of the elevator and I could be walking out of the elevator and I'm going to go this way to go to the lunchroom. And the individual facing me has on multiple occasions been an opposing coach in their towel walking into the coach's room. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it could be me and 5 reporters getting off the elevator, walking into the lunchroom, and we could be staring directly at one of the third base coach. I could be staring at Jason Varitek wearing a towel because he just got out of the shower and he's going into his locker, and I'm going to go get lunch on Taco Tuesday. Like, that's the unique setup, right? So then for those guys to leave the coaching room and get down to the field, they got to get in the elevator. Or they could get in the elevator, which is typically what they do. And they get in the elevator and they've got their fungos, they've got their gloves, and they're talking about what they're about to go do, right? 3 days. 3 days of that. Multiple White Sox coaches in the elevator at the same time. Not a fucking word said. Not a word. Nothing. Nothing. Like, saunter in, press the button, head down, doors open, saunter out.
How much of that? I mean, think about how bad your situation has to be for you to go into the Oakland Coliseum and be the embarrassed one. That's fucking crazy. You must be in an awful, awful place if you have to hang your head at the Oakland Coliseum. Like, that organization over there in Oakland, I mean, like, it's not the players or the coach's fault. It's above that. But to have that level of just shame for the uniform that you're wearing that day, that says a whole hell of a lot.
It's palpable. And that's why I do everything I can to try to defend the players and defend the coaches when shit like that happens. Cause I haven't been a part of a 21 game losing streak. I've been a part of bad teams, and I know what it's like to feel like today's just going to be another Groundhog Day of you getting your fucking ass beat. But I mean, damn, you're excited to be in the big leagues. But there's days where it feels like, you know what? Should I just stay in the hotel room today? Would I be better off? You know, as Jelly Roll says, sometimes I feel like I'm better off laying in their dirt.
Jelly Roll. Well, yeah, that's always interesting whenever we're talking about a story and then news breaks that's relevant to that story. I feel like that's not the first time that's happened. But it is just, it's a formality at this point. I'm more just curious about the timing. Like, what part of that 21 game losing streak did you not like? Like, to you win a game and you finally get some good vibes, and then you lose one more, and it's like, that's enough.
Well, that's what I was going to say. If they win the series in Oakland, does that do it? Is Pedro still the skipper today?
I don't know.
I mean, maybe it was just a situation where, in a perverse way, they wanted him to play out whatever the losing streak ended up being, right? So
yeah, we want you to own this entire streak so we don't bring someone else into it and they end up getting credit for part of it.
And logistically, looking at their schedule, I know it's after they won the middle game and then lost, so why are they doing it now? They're leaving Oakland and they are home for a home stretch now. So, like, you're probably not firing a guy on the road Tuesday on the road in the middle of the series. Like, maybe you are. I don't have a document listing all the in-season firings historically. So if I'm off on this, fine. But logistically, it seems like you just wait until the series is over. The losing streak has concluded, which you don't know is going to happen on Tuesday. And then you deal with it. They're back home. You're out.
That makes fair.
I mean, when our manager got fired, we were on the road and we had.
When you got Bob Guerin fired, you mean?
Well, I didn't get Bob Guerin fired, and what's funny?
Yes, you did.
Not funny because it's never funny that anybody loses their job.
Oh, that's a Freudian slip. Oh, you didn't get Bob Guerin
about
fired.
The situation,
but you were cackling when you learned about it. Is what you said.
No, we're on the road. We got to get home, and we got some major weather, some serious weather that we're dealing with. And the decision was ultimately like, wheels up. We're going home. I'm going home. we're all going home. So that was a tough.
Bob Guerin fired, laughed in his face, and then left him at the airport. Is what I just heard.
No, and I actually was able to catch up with Bob while the Dodgers were in town.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Did you get it on video?
Jay, I made sure there wasn't a single fucking camera.
That's fucked
around.
up, dude. I hope Joey was still there somehow to get it. That's crazy.
Did you ask him to come on the podcast?
No, you didn't. You didn't ask me to reach out. I would have.
What do you mean?
Talking about? We didn't know
you
you were going to meet up
crazy?
with Bob Guerin.
How would we possibly know that?
Oh man!
I thought you guys were blood enemies.
No, I was walking by the cage, and he was hitting fungos, and he turned. He saw me. Hey, stuck his hand. Hey, how's it going, man? How's the family? How's the boys?
So he has no idea
that I got him fired.
Yeah, the role you play.
Yeah, you're the mastermind behind his.
No,
his
that's
career.
So fucked up. He will now.
Yeah, yeah.
This social clip will make sure that he does.
Yeah, we're gonna tag the Dodgers in it.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he knows that I was not a part of that decision making.
Influence in California is heavy. In regards to Dallas Braden, we know that.
Yeah, not that heavy.
Has Stockton had a Dallas Braden day? I feel like they probably have, right? Like there's not many other people to honor.
Oh, then there are, but yes, there's Dallas Braden Day.
Wow.
Is it annual or just like a one-off?
No, it's the one-off. Like, who the fuck's celebrating me every fucking year? Like my family does on the day that I was born.
That's crazy.
What was it the day after the perfect game or something, or was it on the anniversary?
Yeah, on the anniversary.
The 1 year?
The proclamation, like when they gave me the key to the city and all that shit.
Do you have a physical key to the city for Stockton?
I do.
It probably looks like a screwdriver, right?
It looks like a key. It's actually a Slim Jim.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what a Slim Jim is.
Oh yeah, I love Slim
Jim. You get that joke?
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's different Slim Jim.
Oh. I don't know what that is then.
Yeah. It's the precursor to the BIP.
To the
what? You don't know about the BIP either. It's all good.
No.
Yeah. All these kids and the sheltered lives you lead.
MLB season's in full swing, and Underdog Fantasy wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats, strikeouts, total bases, home runs, and so much more. Make entries of all baseball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Do you think it'd be nice to sprinkle some action on the White Sox now? See that they're reinvigorated?
I mean, it's, in my opinion, that's what you call seeing the board clearly. It tells you this is the game giving back to you. This is an opportunity right now.
Yeah.
To get in on the ground level of what the White Sox are doing.
You think Pedro is just pumped? Like, do you think they told him and he was like, God, thank fucking Christ.
I was waiting for you to call.
Yeah, like he's going to get paid out. He's still going to get his money, and he doesn't have to be around the Chicago White Sox anymore. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a toxic situation, it's probably a bit of relief right now.
Yeah, like pay me out and free me up. He'll probably never get a job in baseball ever again after this, but maybe that's the trade-off where you're like, I don't know if that's necessarily worth it.
No. Pedro Grifol will be back in a dugout. He'll be on somebody's staff. Absolutely.
Yeah, he'll be on somebody's staff, but he's probably never going to manage again.
No, probably it's a tough one to get out from underneath,
Yeah.
But
Life is
honestly,
long, though,
like what if Joe Madden wouldn't have had the resume that he had going into the Anaheim job and then experience what he experienced in Anaheim? Let's say his resume was similar to Grifol's.
Mm.
Would Joe Madden have an opportunity to manage baseball games again when you look at how that roster underperformed, the injuries that he dealt with marquee players?
That's a matter of like do you have friends in high places? Because if you recall, Terry Francona was not a beloved manager in Philadelphia, but Curt Schilling loved him. And when Schilling was traded to the Red Sox and signed an extension there, he basically went to the Red Sox and said, that's the guy. And then the Red Sox were like, sounds good. And they hired Terry Francona. So, I mean, guys get opportunities for all different kinds of reasons. I mean, I think the searches are more extensive now. Like, you know, you've got organizations running managers through all these like simulations to see, what decision would you make in situation X, Y, and Z. Like, it's far more extensive. I think we're probably past the point of one player. I mean, Aaron Boone has a job for life as long as Aaron Judge still loves him, which he does. But I feel like across baseball, if Aaron Judge signed with the Padres, could Aaron Judge have handpicked the Padres' new manager? Like, is that something that could have happened? Maybe. But yeah, guys get jobs for all sorts of reasons. Yeah. You never know. But I don't know that there was a impactful superstar on the Chicago White Sox during Grafal's tenure there where they could vouch for him somewhere else if they ended up there.
No, I don't think so.
No. Make sure you sign up with the promo code Jared. That's Jared to get up to $250 in bonus cash and a special pick on Underdog. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code Jared. Things are starting to tighten up here big time in a big way. Before we were kind of just, that meme of the nosy neighbor being like, oh, what the hell is going on over there? Like, now it's kind of like we might be filing a noise complaint. Like, now it's something in the NL West where it is not much of a developing thing. Like, it's a thing now. Like, the D-backs and the Padres are 3 games back of the Dodgers right now. 3 games back of the best team ever. Best team money can buy, they say.
There's no ignoring the crunch now. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. The Giants have fallen out, but it is without a doubt a 3-horse race here right now from August to September. The Padres, the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, all separated by just 3 games. Outside of the Dodgers, both teams and the Diamondbacks and Padres playing well here recently, winners of their last 4 straight. Something that I was talking about with Jared right before you jumped on was what the Phillies have done with the Dodgers, and that is win the season series. So should the Philadelphia Phillies, who are sitting at 68-46, have to face the Dodgers or come down to the wire with the Dodgers and they end up having the same record? Well, the Phillies have the season series on the Dodgers. So should this get into NLCS, home field advantage, blah, 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 that's going to go to the Philadelphia Phillies. But before we get there, the NL West has to shake itself out. And right now, the Dodgers clinging to that 3-game lead between these two teams. And I will continue to go back to the question that was posed on one of our Family Feud episodes from the Discord. And that's, who did we think at the time had an outside chance of getting into that wild card spot and who was the scariest? And I answered the Padres, and I think the Discord agreed with that. And I don't know that there's any reason to not feel like the Padres are not still that team, even now having that conversation about them being a viable division contender.
Jay, hey, if the Dodgers don't win the division, who do you got taking it down?
It's a good question. I think I would still lean in favor of the Diamondbacks, actually.
Why? Both teams are very comparable in run differential. Yep. So, like, what is the separator for you?
So I'm basically flipping a coin. But I think I have a little bit more confidence in the current construction of the Diamondbacks rotation 1 through 5 than I do the Padres. I know the perfect version of the Padres rotation is probably better than the D-backs, but I like the way that the D-backs rotation currently slots, particularly with Eduardo Rodriguez's return. That would be one reason. A secondary reason is a guy we talked about yesterday in Ketel Marte, who is
homered again
after we talked about him yesterday. I think he is indisputably the best player between these two teams among people who are currently playing baseball. So not interested in a Tatis return or argument at the moment. But Ketel Marte is the best player between these two teams. And Josh Bell, if you look at the broad picture of Josh Bell, is a pretty unspectacular player. But there are moments in time where Josh Bell is kind of capable of carrying a team for a week or two at a time offensively, in so much as a baseball player can carry a team. And he's currently on one of those heaters, and it mostly coincides with him going to a new team.
Yes.
So that acquisition, even if it doesn't yield a ton more over the remainder of the season, I think has been a nice pickup for them. You could convince me on the Padres very easily, but for the reasons that I outlined, the fact that we just saw the Diamondbacks, quote unquote, do it would be pretty far down the list, but probably deserves to be mentioned. Yeah, I think those would be my reasons.
That's fair. Dallas?
I like the Padres. Padres.
Why?
I like the Padres for the additions in the bullpen, the way that bullpen has performed. Hoeing and Scott and Adam. I feel like they have a competitive rotation. I feel like they've got guys that can get the job done. Dylan Cease been throwing the piss out of the baseball. Michael King. I think Jay is what's that? Yeah, they're going to get Darvish back. We're going to get Musgrove back. And I mean,
which is why I conceded that the best version of the Padres rotation is definitely superior with those guys. Yeah.
And that's probably why I'm going that route, is because of getting a couple guys like that back. And if that holds, then I want to believe that is the reinforcement that this club could need, right? They went out and got who they needed in the bullpen, or who they felt they needed in the bullpen, to supplement what they already have. What do you need now if you weren't able to go out and land the Jack Flaherty, who may or may not have been on your radar? Well, maybe it's because that you got this coming. We have a Musgrove on the verge. We've got a who coming back. So we don't need to go out and get that. Let's look in other areas. And now that they have these two dudes ready to roll, or close to being ready to roll, it could be very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. And they've got Jurgensen.
Yeah, well, he just got taken out of the game last night. He got hit by what, in the fucking knee?
Yeah, give it a day. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Taken out of the game last night. Jurgensen has been carrying the Padres this year.
D-backs took 2 off the guards yesterday. Guards losers of 5 straight. Talk about another division that's not exactly getting any less tight. But yeah, no, I mean, by wins above replacement, I mean, ERA tells a different story, but by wins above replacement, we are talking about the 2 best rotations, 2 most productive rotations over the last 30 days of the season in the Padres and the D-backs. So,
can we talk about the fact that the Kansas City Royals have a fucking plus 94 run differential and they're in 3rd place?
It's tough.
But you know what? Doesn't it feel good, though, to talk about the Royals like that?
I mean, it feels good for a couple reasons, Dallas. Number one, the Yankees have the best record in baseball, and the Red Sox own them, and the Royals have a fucking plus 94 run differential, and the Red Sox own them too. So, I mean, just get us to the dance.
So selfishly,
get us to the dance, and we'll probably win the World Series. Do you agree, Jake?
Wow.
Yeah, if we get in, we're going all the way.
Yeah. I mean, who's going to stop us? The Phillies, we took a series from them too. We only played them once, took 2 out of 3. Like, there's no one that fucking scares me besides the Orioles.
Does Tristan Casas make the playoff roster?
Yeah, he'll be back relatively soon, I believe. Yeah. What are you making that face for? He's been on a rehab assignment for like a week now.
Okay. Wait, just asking.
The fuck? And if he doesn't come back, Stepdaddy Dom has been doing it. That's 2013 first rounder, Stepdaddy Dom.
BDSM.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's a shame they took that down.
I agree. They should have just left it up.
I mean, stand for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the suits. The suits are always trying to ruin it. Yep.
Especially with social media.
Oh,
suits.
yeah. Yeah.
You think Breslow had a hand in that, Jared?
I think it was his idea.
To
He looks
post
like
it
a
or
little
take it down?
freak. Yeah, to post it. Yeah. Breslow is a fucking naughty boy. You can tell.
Wow. We're not going to do that.
You don't think so?
I mean,
I'm not going to.
Yeah,
I'll recklessly speculate.
Yeah. You've shared a clubhouse with him, right, Dallas?
I did.
This is a guilty laugh.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. He is giving the game away right now. I would never have thought anything.
We might be on to something here, J.A.
I think we should do some BID at Section 10 crossover investigative.
Yeah, I'd like that. Let's send Tyler to Fenway to investigate.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Just have him crawl through the vents and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go to a Craig Breslow press conference and be like, Craig, I heard you were a naughty boy. Can you confirm? He would do it.
You done?
He would do it. Oh, so, I mean, we've definitely struck something
Yes,
here,
this is
if
very
Dallas
real.
is like, we've got to move on, then obviously there's something here.
Yeah. It's
So-
like you are way too close to the truth here. Just back away.
Yeah.
We're going to get off this podcast. He's going to be like, Jake, edit this part out. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Nope.
Nope.
I can see the clip now. Craig Breslow's a naughty boy. And we just clipped this whole segment
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
going to be our best clip of the season.
Craig Breslow's former teammate Dallas Braden claims naughty boy.
Dallas Braden made no such claim.
Dallas Braden silent in face of accusations that Craig
Yeah.
Breslow is a naughty boy.
Right. Former Oakland A's pitcher Dallas Braden pleads the fifth over naughty boy accusations regarding Craig Breslow.
We should get Corey to build us some sort of cool newspaper headline graphic
Yeah.
with all of these.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, if you're listening, baby.
Yeah.
Corey, you got a lot of other important shit to do, Corey.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of like he's gotta go to HelloFresh.
Not a meal prepper? Hello Fresher?
Well, he's a HelloFresh guy, yeah. I am too. Because we all know home cooked meals are so much better for you, but you don't always have the time to pull it off. But with HelloFresh handling all the meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep, it's easier than ever to get dinner on the table quick and painless. I mean, yesterday, you think I got time to do dinner? No, I don't have time for that. Baseball is dead. Baseball hour, 95 the Sports Hub. Come back, watch the game, then do Section 10. Like, when am I cooking dinner?
I hope somebody was cooking for you.
No,
got the meal work done for you.
Listen. I normally, yes, that is the situation, but now it's cheer season. So my girlfriend's daughters are both doing cheer this year. So she's taxi mom. She's got to drive them to practice and the competition. So now I am on my own for dinner.
So what you're saying is hello Fresh.
It's exactly what I'm saying, Jay. Hey, thank God for
Jared,
HelloFresh.
You could take those meals to cheer practice. So, like,
yeah,
if you didn't want to be left out and you wanted to be, you have plenty of time.
No, I know.
If you wanted to be a part of the familial unit and support, you could absolutely pack up the laptop, hotspot, mic, HelloFresh meals for you and the fam. Boom. You could be right there,
Boom.
Jared. You could probably even start to dabble in the coaching side of cheer.
Yeah.
Because HelloFresh is going to make it that easy for you to eat, satiate, and cheer. Like,
exactly.
I'm fucking cheering for HelloFresh right now.
Yeah, I bet you are. And I'm excited about this new opportunity that we discovered I have today.
That's awesome, man.
Yep. Thank you. I'm pumped. This is going to be great. No more endless recipe searching or spending money on a whole jar of spices for only a pinch. With HelloFresh, everything you need makes a delicious meal come right to your door, pre-portioned and fresh, of course. Plus the included step-by-step recipe cards, making cooking simple. There's always new flavors to explore with an ever-changing menu of 50 recipes to choose from every single week. Just pick your meals and your delivery date. It's really that simple, Dallas. It's just that simple. Easily customize your meals with protein or veggie swaps. And don't forget to check out HelloFresh Market for more delicious add-on items to jazz up your weekly deliveries. For me personally, HelloFresh has saved my life here. Because I can't do takeout. How am I supposed to do takeout every single night?
Well, no, we just went over it. HelloFresh has just reinserted you right back into the family unit.
Correct. I'm back. I was gone, but now I'm back. And here's the deal. For free breakfast, you love breakfast, right, Dallas?
I'm a breakfast guy.
Free breakfast for life. Go to HelloFresh. Yep. For life.
Poor Vita.
For free breakfast for life. Go to HelloFresh.com/free bid. That's FREEBID. One free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life. Just by going to HelloFresh.com/FREEBID. It is highly addicting. It is a great free breakfast for life. I had breakfast for lunch yesterday. Now I'm going to get free breakfast for life. Thank you, HelloFresh. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber, shout out. 3 home runs last night. 1 to left field, 1 to right field, 1 to center field.
Spray it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of spraying it, Jackson Holliday. He's figured it out.
He's back.
He's here. 4 homers. I think I saw a tweet yesterday being Eloy Jimenez drove in someone else after Eloy Jimenez drove in Austin Hayes after a Jackson Holliday grand slam. It's none of this was happening a week ago. It wasn't even possible for this to have happened a week ago. So this is American League home run history for Jackson Holliday. Oh, you have my attention. Jackson Holliday becomes the youngest player in American League history to homer in 3 straight games. There you go. Out of all the players in American League history, none of them have homered as young as Jackson Holliday, the 20-year-old Jackson Holliday. When Dallas was 20, he was carjacking vehicles in downtown Stockton. Jackson Holliday is hitting home runs in 3 consecutive
using
baseball
a Slim
games
Jim.
at the losing it. Yes. Yep.
This was what was supposed to happen. This was what everybody anticipated the first time around, right?
Correct.
That's all. Are we all? Can we all just agree to Men in Black flashy thing ourselves and completely forget about the first turn?
Yes and no. I think for me, the first go around is it's part of the story. It's wow, I came up, had one of the worst call ups in baseball history, and then I got called back up a few months later, and now I'm hitting home runs in 3 straight games. Now, for everyone that wrote me off, I'm going to make you look like an asshole for doing that.
I mean, one of the guys that was mentioned after Jackson Holliday struggled and was sent back down was Mike Trout, right? That was an example that was given is here's a pathway, a narrative, an arc that he can follow. Granted, Jackson Holliday was worse than Mike Trout was during his initial taste, but I think that's still part of the story we tell about Mike Trout. Debuted, tough initial take, came back the next season and was, immediately one of the very best players in baseball. Maybe that's a high standard to expect from Jackson Holliday, but I think that's the kind of thing we're seeing here, which is cool.
Yeah, and it does. I think it speaks to also the adjustments that a guy has to make. And
Totally.
That's a big test, because what you don't want to have happen, and this is something that happens to guys, Jared, is you go down to AAA, and instead of really selling out to the adjustments that you need to make, you understandably just fall into being competitive because it's a game situation. I need to get on base. I'm trying to get a hit. This is what I'll do. As opposed to implementing the process and trusting the process. And I think there needs to be a lot of credit given to individuals when they go down and are successful in making those adjustments and then come back up and are successful in implementing those adjustments in the big leagues. Because if you do not pay attention to the work that needs to be done and you go down and you just absolutely rake and cripple subpar pitching in the minor leagues and you come back up having not worked on anything that was exposing you the first time around, you will get exposed again, and then you will very quickly start to put yourself in the 4A conversation. This guy, he can get it done at the AAA level because he hammers piss poor pitching, but he just refuses to make the adjustments necessary to get to the baseball consistently at the big league level. So to watch a 20-year-old have the pressure of coming up and being, it's not like he needed to be an organizational savior, but it's like, this is now like one of the last pieces to our here we roll for the next 5+ years. He was able to make those adjustments in the face of getting slapped by the big leagues. And now he's back here and he's doing shit that has never been done by guys his age in the game.
Can I drop a little nug on you guys, even though we're not on the nug section of the pod?
Please do.
Talk about adjustments. Jackson Holliday's first taste. So before the demotion, he was 1 for 17 with a 59% whiff rate against fastballs. So that's obviously beyond untenable. 1 for 17, 59% whiff rate. Since the recall, 7 for 15 with 2 homers and a 23% whiff rate. So
stay on the heater.
These are very small samples. We're talking about 70 plus and 50 plus pitches. So about 130 pitches between the 2 samples. But that to me suggests, even if the numbers don't stay that extreme, that to me suggests a very clear adaptation that has been made, because he went from unspeakably bad against the basic pitches that you need to hit to be a major leaguer to tearing the cover off the ball against him.
And this is what happens is guys come up to the big leagues, Jay, and they get dominated at times by velocity because it's 2 ticks better than what you're seeing down there, and it's where it needs to be in the strike zone. It's not 97 in the big leagues, 95 in the minor leagues are different for a lot of different reasons. Mainly the 2 miles an hour of separation, but the location of those pitches are what really separates those two at those levels. So now you've got your 97 that he's on time with, he's committed to. He's not getting off that now because I promise his daddy said, hey, you got to be able to hit the heater. That's just the bottom line. You got to be able to hit the fastball. You got to stay on that. And what are you able to do in the minor leagues when they're scared to throw their fastball and now they want to spin shit to get themselves back into the count? You, as a good hitter who doesn't belong in AAA, are waiting for that shitty 2-1 slider and it gets absolutely fucking walloped. But have you done anything to try to close the gap in your exposure the first time around? So you hit the fucking slider out of the ballpark in AAA, outstanding. But you're not getting to the 96.
Yeah.
Right. You ain't getting that. But now here, you're getting the heaters and you're missing them, but now you're not missing those. Now we're all over those. And so now what's going to happen is the league's going to have to start to adjust to him being able to get to the fastball. So now the conversation goes from staying on the fastball to, all right, we've got ourselves in an advantageous count. Now the count is 2-1 for you as opposed to being 1-2 for you. Now we can start to pick out a pitch. Now we can start to look for a pitch in a certain spot because you have the advantage in your favor. And those are just little things that start to help hitters adjust and start to help hitters become more confident. And I think pitch selection, as much as we talk about pitch sequencing from a pitcher's perspective, from a hitter's perspective, once you start to understand why you're being attacked the way you are, you can start to make adjustments. And then once you start to lay off shit, you start to watch the adjustments be made to you again. The difference is you're now waiting for those adjustments as opposed to just reacting to those adjustments. You're anticipating what they're going to do, right? I just watched Mark Kotsay step in the box against Mason Miller. And this was during his rehabs, like his sim game. And first of all, let's start here. Outside of Stephen Vogt, who is 2 years removed from playing or whatever it is, I don't know how many other big league managers are going out and putting 98 in play. Okay. Because I watched Mark Kotsay do that against Mason Miller. I watched him foul fucking 3-4 balls off and then fucking put one in play. But the idea is Mark Kotsay was able to get to the fastball because he knew he was getting it in a certain count. And all that tells you is you can have the best stuff in the world, but if you have an idea of what's happening to you at the plate, you have a chance to combat that. And that's what we're seeing from Jackson Holliday, is he has an understanding of how he's being attacked, why he's being attacked in a certain way. He's made the necessary adjustments to prevent the dominance. And now, as we sit today, as we wake up and go to the ballpark today, Jackson Holliday's in the driver's seat today. He's not reacting to you. He's got a good idea of what you do. He's got a good idea of how he can succeed in the attack plan. And it's a matter of who's going to blink first. Do you throw strike one or are you behind him? Because right now, if it's the other way around and you're behind him, he's got the confidence. He's the captain now, Jared.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Also, that's fucking hilarious on Kotsay. How is Mason Miller already doing like sim games? I thought he broke his fucking pinky.
Buddy, he just logged a save last night.
So what's he doing? Just like taping it up?
He's getting outs. He's not giving a fuck, and he's getting outs. He's reaching down between his legs and conjuring up some testicular fortitude, Jared.
Well, it's not his throwing hand, but like, what are they doing? Rolling the ball back to the mound?
No, it's pretty good. I had an extensive conversation with him about some things you can do because I broke my hand and 2 fingers diving for a ball in pregame warmups in junior college and was like, I think I'll be fine. And went and tried to hit, and that didn't work out. I fucking swung the bat once. The bat fell out of my hand. And I was like, I'll be fine. I can still pitch, though. I'll be fine. I can still pitch. And I couldn't catch the ball. So I went and put a cast on. And then a week later, I was like, I'll be fine. I just cut the cast off and started catching the ball fucking underhand. And so Mason Miller has made the adjustments. The buddy system. Go get outs, Jared. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Non-throwing hand gives a shit. So far away from my throwing hand. Doesn't matter.
Not that anyone here likes the guy, but did you see Aroldis Chapman versus Machado last night?
Yeah.
He hit 105 a couple times. It was 104.7 and 105.1, but they both registered as 105 on the gun. It was actually the point where like Machado was laughing. Like the first one hit off the glove and went to the backstop. The second one was just 105 on the black, and Machado just started laughing. He was like, "Yeah, what the fuck do you want me to do with that, dude?"
Exactly. I love scenes like that.
Yeah,
because it's almost like breaking the fourth wall in the movie industry, you know, like I'm sure if you've seen Deadpool, you understand Ryan Reynolds is talking straight to your ass, like, and you just see Manny like, oh, okay, all right, it's 105. I can barrel that. It's probably a lot harder to barrel this than some of the other shit that we've all seen, but can we all just take a minute to appreciate what this is? That was 105. Anybody else see that? That was 105. Just want to make sure you at home understand what just happened. We'll resume regular programming, but that's ridiculous. You got Ben Joyce fucking blowing 105. Like, I have found it difficult at times, and I love Mason. Love Mason. He's an awesome dude. He's fucking blowing 104 himself. But these other dudes are throwing really fucking hard too, and they got nasty shit too. And I think it should be talked about. It should be celebrated to have that sort of horsepower, that sort of gas, dude. That's otherworldly. That's otherworldly shit.
Aroldis Chapman's 36 years old.
Yeah.
Throwing 105.
Why is offense down? I don't know. Tim Kirkjian. I don't know.
Yeah. Why is offense down? Because it has never been harder to put the bat on the ball. In a game built on failure, it's never been easier to fail.
This is like Aaron Judge having an 1100 OPS during a time where pitching has never been nastier is like when Pedro Martinez had an ERA that was like 2.5 runs lower than the league average during the steroid era.
That's why, like, you know, I've seen some like Judge greatness conversations floating around Twitter recently, and that is part of the problem, the perception problem here, much as it was, you know, when you're trying to sell people on Pedro Martinez's peak being arguably the greatest peak that any pitcher has ever delivered in MLB history. Like, you need to understand the context that it's happening in. Like, Judge's 1100 OPS this season is without question more impressive and more valuable than an 1100 OPS that Jeff Bagwell put up in 1996 or whatever it is. And that Jeff Bagwell's in the Hall of Fame. Doesn't mean that it's not great. It just means that when the league average OPS is 700 or 680 instead of 800, that matters.
Yeah. Well, it's like the conversation that we always have, and historically, when it turns to, or Babe Ruth's name comes up, we talk about what he was doing in the power realm compared to the game around him, right? Like, this man is out hitting leagues. He's out hitting multiple teams combined in the power department. And then you fast forward and lots of guys hit for power during the steroid era and blah, blah, blah. But then the outlier, as we just highlighted, is Pedro dominating in a completely different way, like on a completely different level during an era where you're not seeing that shit. So when Babe Ruth is just blasting baseballs, people are going, we've never fucking seen this. This is absolutely insane. And then you fast forward and you're watching what's happening right now and you're going, do you understand what's happening though? Like, this dude isn't just, he's not just hitting the ball with authority. He's doing it during a time where nobody is doing it like this, where to get to the baseball is really difficult. And he's not only getting to the ball, but he's doing it with incredible authority. So
the league average for batting average this year is 244. Aaron Judge is hitting 324. League average on base percentage is 313. His on base percentage is 459. League average slug is 400. Aaron Judge's slug is basically 700. It's 698. League average OPS this year, 713. Aaron Judge's OPS is 1158. Yeah, that is quite impressive.
There's basically like 70 to 80 points of OPS difference league-wide between what we're seeing right now and what we saw in the year 2000, for example. So it's a meaningful, and that's, you know, and there's like 35 points of batting average. So there's meaningful differences here in eras and in run scoring and stuff like that.
Yeah. So you'd say Aaron Judge is a good player.
Yeah, run scoring is down a half a game, 0.6 runs per team, 0.6 to 0.7 runs per team, league wide relative to 20 or so years ago. Wow. So, yeah, pretty good player.
Is it that time?
Wow. Welcome back to Baseball is Dead Family Feud. I'm your man, Justin Havens. I'm interested in this one for a couple of reasons. A, you guys lost last week.
Yeah.
Looking for a bounce back.
Sure.
B, because I fell asleep without getting the information to Jake last night. We got it to the Discord early this morning. So based on the reactions, I think we have not a completely new batch of participants within the Discord answering, but a lot of people who got to participate in Family Feud for the first time.
Wow.
Given when we normally drop, which is sometime between like Wednesday afternoon to late Wednesday night, this one was Thursday morning. So excited for that reason. And a lot of people, they saw the questions and they said, you guys are cooked.
Oh.
Now I'm looking at the results.
You guys are
And I
fucking
don't feel that way.
Okay.
There's
All right.
plenty of, there are several high. There is one answer that if you get, you would almost have to like go mute on the other answers to not bring home the championship. So we'll see. Good opportunity for you guys to bounce back. How you feeling?
I feel okay. Dallas is going first this week.
That's right.
So I don't love going second, but he's really good at going first. So it takes a lot of pressure off of me for having to go second.
Yeah, it removes the Dallas panic at having already answered the question, right? Or is that?
Yes.
Are we sure that we've got the order correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Dallas went second last week because he
All right.
guessed a couple of things the same as me.
That's right. That's right. Okay. So Jared, are you ready, Dallas?
Not really, but fuck.
Yeah,
I'm never really ready for this.
I know. It's weird though, because you're simultaneously never ready for it, but also very eager to proclaim yourself as the greatest Family Feud player of all time. It's an interesting kind of, contrast.
Well, on television network, on network television.
Oh, do you feel
on
like
television network?
Do you feel more pressure here? Is that what you're saying?
A slight bit more amount of pressure, yes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the environment I foster.
I'm leaving.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
Pop it off, baby. All right. As always, get yourself into the mind of recent Baseball is Dead episodes and discussions, okay? Some of which you participated in, some of which, unfortunately, you didn't yesterday, but that's okay. I mean, that's just how the cookie crumbles. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Jake, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Remember, this is out of 100 BID fans. Question 1. In what place in the NL MVP vote will Ketel Marte finish this season?
Second.
Between Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Kyle Schwarber, the Cubs' young core in 2016, who will we remember as having the best overall career when we look back in 20 years?
Anthony Rizzo.
The NL West lead is down to 3 games. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being complete calm and 10 being sheer terror, what level of panic would you have as a Dodgers fan right now?
4.
Relative to preseason expectations, who is the most disappointing team in the American League this season?
Rays.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the most boring and 10 being the most exciting team, how interesting are the Mets this season?
2. 5. 6.
No,
6,
you
6.
said 2. You said 2.
Fuck!
You were already over time anyway. Jake, I need a ruling.
No!
I mean, he was over time. I don't know if you want to do the fact that you started the question, but if we're going traditional rules, I don't know if that counts.
That is, let me, boy, that wasn't even particularly close. I guess since these, I guess we'll give it to him because my questions were a little wordy this week.
That did not look like it went well from my vantage point.
It didn't go great.
Oh,
it didn't go
no.
great.
Oh no. He can't find his headphones now.
No, he threw them. I think I predicted that he would throw them. Did I not?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How could you have thrown your headphones to such a degree that you can't find them in a hotel room?
Yeah. And you're sitting in the corner of the room.
Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Dallas, can you hear us? Or did you break your headphones?
I think he broke his headphones.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello.
can you hear us?
Mother.
Oh God, this
Had
guy.
to have seen that coming.
Yeah. Were we recording when we predicted this? I think we were.
Know.
I think we were. Jake, were we recording for
Yeah,
that?
Not
yeah. I
working?
think it was final thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was definitely on the last episode.
Yeah, we should. Jeremy, if you're out there, we should splice together that prediction at the end with what we just saw here.
What we just saw here.
Okay, now I got you. I can hear you guys now.
Oh, perfect.
Good stuff. Very good sportsmanship. Okay, so Jake and I talked it out.
Can't win.
We are going to allow the answer on the last question, despite the fact that your
Well,
answer.
you were reading soliloquies. I mean, for fuck's sake.
And the reason given, despite you being seconds after the buzzer would have gone off, that my questions are a little wordier than they are typically. So you are going to get credit for question number 5. Okay.
Don't know
So
that it even matters, but thank you.
Well, it may not matter, but every
Is
point
it that
counts
bad?
right now. No.
Jesus
No.
Christ.
It's
was
winnable. It was bad, but it is winnable because the single biggest answer left on the board is still there for you. So that alone could drastically swing the outcome here. Are you ready?
Ready as I'm ever going to be.
Do you want to know what Dallas got?
No.
Okay. Here we go. This is out of 100 BID fans. In what place in the NL MVP vote, will Ketel Marte finish this season?
Second. Third.
Between Chris Bryant, Javier Baez, Anthony Rizzo, and Kyle Schwarber, the Cubs' young core in 2016, who will we remember as having the best overall career when we look back in 20 years?
Kyle Schwarber.
The lead in the NL West is down to 3 games. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being complete calm and 10 being sheer terror, what level of panic would you have as a Dodgers fan right now?
5.
Relative to preseason expectations, who is the most disappointing team in the American League this season?
Ooh. The Blue Jays.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being very boring and 10 being the most exciting team in the league, how interesting are the Mets this season?
4.
Thank you very much.
I got it in time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Plenty of time.
We didn't get the answer, though, huh?
What do you mean? We're going to go through them right now.
No. The number 1 answer.
For Mets? Oh, who says you didn't? Who says you didn't? Yeah.
Which question was the mother load points on?
The Cubs young core.
Okay.
All right. Are you guys ready to go through this?
Yes.
Okay. In what place in the NL MVP vote will Ketel Marte finish this season? Dallas provided second. That was worth 23 points. Tied for the number 2 answer. Jared. Or should we go through? We got to go through Dallas's first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how we would do this. Yeah. Okay.
You're all right over there?
Yeah. In what place will in the NL MVP vote will Ketel Marte finish? Dallas got 23 there. That was the second best answer. Between Bryant, Baez, Rizzo, and Schwarber, Dallas answered Rizzo. That was worth 20. The second best answer. NL West lead. Level of panic. Dallas said a 4. That was worth 17 points. So we're up to 60 points for Dallas through 3 questions. Relative to preseason expectations, who's the most disappointing team in the league? Dallas said The Rays, that was the fourth answer for 8 points. That gets us to 68. And then the Mets question, which we are allowing in, he said a 2 initially. Dallas literally gave 3 or 4 answers for this question. We took the first answer, which was a 2. That got 5 points. That was the 6th most common answer. So Dallas delivered 73 through his round. Okay.
Good.
Jared.
I didn't have Dallas as being the panicky one of the two of us.
No, it's gotten more panicky as we've gone on with Family Feud too. He started very confident and then like one loss, and now it's like panic every time. All right.
Yeah.
Ketel Marte, Jared said he tried second. Then he answered third, which set Jared on a great path here with 41 points. That was the number 1 overall answer. Brings us up to 114 through with 4 questions remaining. The Cubs question. Jared came through with the mother load. Kyle Schwarber, 79 votes for the Cubs question. 79 votes. That gets you all the way to 193 with 3 questions left. Rizzo was worth 20, as I said before. Javier Baez got 1. Chris Bryant received no votes.
Yeah, and he has an MVP.
What a fall. NL West question. Jared needs 7 points here for you guys to be the winners. His answer for the amount of panic was, I believe, 5, correct? On a scale of 1 to 10?
Mm-hmm.
That's 16 points. They've done it, folks.
It's what we do.
And just to cap it off.
It's what we do. Where are we at? Just blindly. Where are we at with the Schwarber Rizzo conversation?
Like who's having the better career?
Yeah.
I think the fact that
or no, better player, like who's been the better performing player?
I think why Schwarber won out on this one is because he's more impactful later. Like he's more impactful right now. Like Rizzo's like dead, Baez is dead, Bryant's dead, and Schwarber's on a really good team making a big impact. Like that's why I think he's the answer.
Yeah, I think this is a moment in time answer, which is, part of the deal when you're doing stuff like this. I don't think there's any question that when we actually look back on the careers, the answer will be Anthony Rizzo.
Yeah.
He's maybe had twice the career of Kyle Schwarber, and that's not to diminish. I'm not doing Kyle Schwarber hate. We're just removed from Anthony Rizzo's peak, and I think it's worth remembering, since Dallas brought it up, that we're talking about a guy who had a 6-season stretch where his average season was a 901 OPS with a 388 on base percentage and 30 homers and about 100 RBI per year. So the accolades would say that it's Rizzo. The advanced stats would say that it's Rizzo. We're just, half a decade removed from him being that type of player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Schwarber, I honestly
Schwarber literally hit 3 homers last time.
Yeah. Yeah. And just because like he is, like, what was it? 2 years ago when how many fucking homers did he hit in the month of June or whatever? Like he
does that every year.
Yeah. Right. So like he is, the recency of his success and the recency of his cult hero narrative, I think, is probably what led to that overwhelming response there. I just want, like, for my own brain, because in my head, as soon as I heard the names, I was like, well, this is clearly Rizzo.
Yeah.
But I mean, Schwarber would have been the other guy just based on everything we've laid out right now. That would have been an option. I just was,
wins above replacement, each listener can take it for what it's worth to them. But like, wins above replacement says that Kyle Schwarber has a lot of work to do to catch either of the other 2 guys.
Well, defense.
Forget Rizzo. Yeah, like Bryant is at 27, 28 wins above replacement, and Baez is at 24, 25, and Schwarber's at 15. Rizzo's in the 40s. Like Rizzo was a Baines meter guy. Had we started the Baines meter publicly, at least, a season prior. So I think I think it'll be an interesting debate depending on how long Kyle Schwarber can keep this going. But it's such a recency bias thing because, like, yes, Chris Bryant's been massively disappointing since signing the contract, and Kyle Schwarber has really only gotten, in a lot of ways, better since leaving the Cubs. But like, we're also forgetting, or we didn't because Jared brought it up, Chris Bryant won a fucking MVP and statistically deserved to win the MVP. Like, that goes a long way. That alone, by wins above replacement, that season alone is worth half of Kyle Schwarber's career.
I was just about to say, Jay, like, you give Schwarber that type of season and you're probably doubling his overall productivity.
Yeah, which he's incapable of providing because of the shape of Kyle Schwarber's contributions. And that's, again, not knocking him. He's never going to give you anything defensively. So
no, but it's Paul Bunyan. He's Paul Bunyan. Like, I'm not expecting Paul Bunyan to plant lettuce. I want him chopping down fucking trees. And that's what Paul Bunyan does.
And honestly, like, you know, when these guys look back on their careers and, you know, they can all count their relative stacks of money and they'll all be very high, relatively speaking. But like, I think there is real value. This goes beyond the Family Feud question, but like, I think there's real value to being somebody who the taste in people's mouths is a positive one. And that's not to say that the end hasn't been written for Kyle Schwarber. So maybe there's a coda here that's not as pleasant as what's going on right now. But he's going to, Cubs fans love Kyle Schwarber for his, you know, the singular flashbulb moments in the postseason and World Series. And they are mad. I know a lot of Cubs fans who are not, maybe mad's the wrong word because there's a lot of distance now, but like kind of just shake their head at the idea that like the Cubs didn't want to pay Kyle Schwarber what amounted to like $8 million to stay on the team. Right. And like, he's obviously made that look like a pretty questionable decision, even if it wouldn't have mattered for the Cubs' overall trajectory. But like, he's now in the Phillies where like he's part of that great vibes, great Phillies team. And like, he does his 40 homers a year thing. And like, these other guys are on new teams where it's like, they have absolutely no goodwill built up. They're all viewed as overpaid, not Rizzo, but like, because he did have good seasons with the Yankees, but like Baez and Bryant are, you know, complete anchors on their current teams. For sure. And it's like, well, as a Tigers or Rockies fan, why the hell would you want to like Javier Baez or Chris Bryant? You wouldn't want one of their jerseys. Like, they haven't done anything for you. So like, you know, Kyle Schwarber may have a chance to look back and be like, you know, man, it was all good for me, you know, like, and that's gotta be cool. I would think as a player.
I'm 100% with you, Jay, because we always have the conversation about whose career would you like to have. And you can start to compare accolades and championships and dollars, if that's something that you talk about. And that conversation has been had with Mike Trout and Bryce Harper. And I think it is really about, you know, what sort of narrative do you appreciate more or what matters more to you? And for Kyle Schwarber, I got to believe that being a dude's dude, being an incredible clubhouse guy, and being loved for just fucking torching baseballs, because that's what you do. When you're sitting in your bed as a little kid and you're dreaming about being a big leaguer, it starts with, I want to be a world champion. I want to be the home run king, right? I want to have every Cy Young I could ever get, like all the cool shit. Well, you can check those boxes for Schwarbs. Like, I absolutely drop dick in the big leagues. I'm a power hitting big league slugger, champion. Like, life doesn't get any better, dude. Doesn't get any better. It's a great place to be if you're Kyle Schwarber.
Yep. And he's played in all the fun places that you can play. Like, he played in Chicago for the Cubs, won a World Series there. He played in Boston, was a big part of like a major playoff run. And now he's in Philly. Like, he's hit all the fun spots.
And he's been a fun dude in a fun
all
spot.
All three of those teams.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like he's just been there in these great atmospheres. He's a part of creating those great atmospheres. That's that, like Johnny Gomes. Like Johnny Gomes. I mean, fuck, man. You're a world champ. You're doing tours in the off season, fucking home run derby. Like, bro, life is great. Life is great when you're a great clubhouse dude and you're just you enjoy playing the game and it shows, and you have some productivity that reflects it. I love guys that have that going on for them.
And just shout out, give a little statistical love to Schwarber too. I've had not fun at his expense because I just like looking up weird statistical combinations, but we've talked about on this pod his combination of like 40 plus home runs, but also an OPS that somehow is still sitting in the low 800s, right? And like how historically rare that is, how, you know, unique it is that he's so home run driven and is delivering home run and walks driven and is delivering so little else. That's just simply not the case this season. Like he's having what is much closer to a traditionally excellent slugger season. His OPS plus is 150. That would be the best single season mark of his career. His on base percentage is 390. That would be the best single season mark of his career. And he's hitting 261 in a season where we just talked about how the overall league batting average is as low as it's been in a long time. He hit 197 last year. Like there is an aesthetic difference, but in 64 points of batting average, no matter how much we want to diminish, or me, like I'll tell you, on base percentage is more important. We're all on the same page there. Slugging percentage, also more important than batting average. But it's more appealing to watch a guy work his way to a 260 batting average and still get all the walks and still get all the power than it is to watch a guy hit 197 and hit 45 bombs.
What's his high water mark average-wise career, Jay? Like in a season where he's logged 450 plus at-bats.
So it's the season that most resembles what he's doing right now, which is the 2021 year, which was split between the Nationals and the Red Sox, where he only hit 32 homers, and that looks like a down season compared to the fact that he had 46 and 47 and 22 and 23. But his 928 OPS and 149 OPS plus are easily his high water marks as a professional, not including this season, which is obviously still to be finished. So like,
all right, I don't know. I don't remember what he hit 2 years ago, but last year he hit
197 last year. 2 years ago, he hit 218. And
he hit under 200 last year. So,
and the on base percentage was even lower the year that he hit 218 than it was last year when he hit 197. So if you add up his Philly career, 22 and 23, cumulatively, he hit 207 with a 333 on base percentage, an 822 OPS, and a 125 OPS plus. This season, his batting average is 261, 54 points higher. His on base percentage is 390, which is 57 points higher. His slugging percentage is 504, which is 15 points higher. And his OPS is 894, which is 76 points higher. It's just not even close to what he was contributing the previous two seasons. And we're all on the same page that those had real value. He had 45, 46, 47 homers. That's a person you want on the team. But this year, he has unquestionably been a better player.
Does the bat tracking data go back, or is it just this year?
Just this year.
Motherfuck. I'd be really interested to see if there's any sort of discrepancy in numbers there. I don't think, Kyle, the reason I ask, or the reason I even am curious about it, is because he is somebody who I think would not have a major shift in some of those numbers, like a guy who would go from swinging at a 76.4 mile an hour rate and then drop down to a 73 mile an hour swing rate. You know what I mean? Like, I would just be curious to see if those things are highlighted.
Ryan Howard once finished second in the NL MVP while hitting 251 with a 125 OPS plus. Kyle Schwarber is hitting 261 with a 150.
Let me.
We've come a long way.
We have come.
Did we finish all my things? Why is there an echo? Oh, because Dallas took his fucking headphones off.
Yeah, because he threw his headphones in response to getting 73 points in Family Feud.
I get emotional.
Now we finished the podcast with an echo. Yeah.
Yeah. Did we finish all my responses?
Oh, no. Thank you. That was quite the tangent.
Yeah.
So you sealed the deal with your third question. Two remaining questions. Relative to preseason expectations, who's the most disappointing team in the league? As we said, Dallas had 8 with the Rays. That was the fourth best answer. Jared, again, stayed hot, came through with the number 2 answer. Blue Jays, 28 points Rangers were the number one answer with 31. Rangers and Blue Jays were the runaway correct answers, accounted for more than half of the total point value there.
What did Dallas say?
Rays.
So the Rays
got 8 points. Listen, buddy, we were in deep trouble at this point in his round. The fact that he got anything out at that point was a
fact
win.
that I answered.
And then the Mets' most interesting question answer, Jared said a 4. That was worth 12 points. So you guys ended up with Jared's answers. You guys ended up clearing the bar by about 50 points. The 200 point. I think you got 249, I think, if my math is correct. Very impressive. Number one answer there was a 3. For all you Mets fans out there, number one answer was a 3.
So we had it surrounded.
Yep, you guys had it. You guys had it. So good stuff. Nice feud bounce back, boys.
I was told we were fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what Discord said. That's not what I said.
Hey, Discord, go fuck yourself, huh? We're fucked.
Yeah.
So I don't mean that, Discord. I definitely don't mean that. I sincerely apologize.
Yeah, they can probably hack your laptop and steal all your data.
Well, this is Jake's laptop, so whatever's on here, Jake, I'd look the fuck out if I were you, pal.
Oh, well, I don't think Jake has any expectation of getting that laptop back working.
Yeah, that's true. Shaka still works today.
Yeah, probably won't after he throws it through the window.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't give us fucked up questions. We'll be all right.
Oh gosh, you're lucky I can. I mean, it didn't end up mattering.
Yeah, I mean,
you tacked on 5 points there at the end because
at what point in time? What point in time can we reel Jay in from the fucking dissertations, and we just get him to start spouting off normal human questions?
I bet you couldn't even come up with one question. Like, fuck. One question. Fuck.
During the summer solstice of 1943 in the Western
Jake
Hemisphere,
texts you, Dallas, can I get the Family Feud questions? Fuck.
I want to take you back to a time where the game was a little simpler. So let's think dead ball era. Jay, any fucking time.
God damn it. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Fuck.
I'm ready for the question. See, I'm a fast processor.
No, you're good now. You're good now.
All right. Jay, some nugs to take us into the weekend.
Jose Ramirez is the third infielder in MLB history to record 3 seasons with 30 plus homers and 25 plus stolen bases, along with Alfonso Soriano and the Motel Man himself, Howard Johnson. Josh Bell, as I alluded to earlier, had 8 homers through his first 92 games of the season. He now has 10 homers over his last 17 games. Nice add there. Hunter Green goes today. He is one of 3 starting pitchers to allow no more than 1 run and no more than 10 hits over a 5-start span in a single season in MLB history. This is a stat that I brought back because he's going today. It's Green, Jacob deGrom in 21, and old friend Rich Hill in 2016. Because I like to pay off things that we talk about on previous podcasts, we talked about Yusei Kikuchi prior to his start yesterday. He has now posted a 42% strikeout rate since joining the Astros after a 26% strikeout rate with the Blue Jays.
All that bitching for nothing for your Astros fans.
Specifically, his slider changeup combo in 2 starts with the Astros has yielded 2 for 20 with 13 strikeouts from batters so far. And then just looking ahead to the slate overall this weekend, 2 series stood out to me, given their postseason implications. First is Jake and Jared's Red Sox up against the Astros. Astros at about 60%. And the Red Sox at about 45% to make the playoffs as of right now, 63 for the Astros as of this recording per Fangraphs. And then an AL Central showdown between the Twins and the Guardians, currently 3.5 games separate those 2 teams. We get started with a doubleheader on Friday. Right now, both teams are pretty comfortably looking like they're going to make the playoffs, but the Guards have lost 5 straight. And all of a sudden, the division looks a lot less certain than it did maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. Fangraphs has the Guards at 54% to win the division, with the Twins at 33 and the Royals at 12. Those numbers could look very different by the time we talk on Monday. So those are my final thoughts, and those are the things I'm watching.
Phillies D-backs not doing it for you?
No, I mean, that is. I mean, I could talk about every series if you want. I wanted to leave some scraps on the table for you guys.
Sure.
But you are talking
Phillies.
about teams that have been playing different quality baseball. Yeah. Well, Phillies have been scuffling, at least lately, but D-backs playing great ball.
Yes. Also, the Pirates haven't named any starters for this weekend. Is Skeens slated to go up against the Dodgers this weekend?
Yes. Vasquez, are you talking about today or just over the weekend? Like
over the
Friday,
weekend.
Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah.
Friday looks like it's Keller Flaherty, at least according to ESPN.
Yeah. I see Flaherty for Friday, and I see Ryan for Saturday, Glasnow for Sunday, but no Pirates starters named after today.
No, officially, ESPN is tentatively slotting in Skeens on Saturday and Falter on Sunday. We'll see whether that holds.
Okay. So we could get Skeens,
That'd be awesome.
Ohtani round 2.
Sexual.
I'm into that. Dallas, final thoughts?
No, not really. I'm in the 6. That's it. I'm in Toronto. I'm gonna go hang out in Toronto. Toronto.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very
Love
clean city. It's a clean city.
Love the city. It's a great place. Incredible food. Great culture. I fucking love Toronto.
You can put ketchup on the sidewalk and eat your French fries off of it. It's so clean in Toronto.
Yeah. Shout out baseball super fan Matt Harvey.
Yeah.
Matty, it was your birthday a couple days ago. I saw you. I see you. I'll holler at you today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow at the Raj. But I hope you and Gus had a fucking fabulous day, Matt. A fabulous fucking day.
Does he listen to the show?
He does. He does listen.
Okay. Are we sure that that's his last name? I know it begins with that.
I'm 1,000% positive that his name is Matt Harvey.
His name is Matt Harvey.
100%.
Okay.
It's crazy after you spent like 40 minutes slandering Matt Harvey the other day when you and I were talking about him. We're not gonna go back into that, but it's nice mea culpa.
Holliday fan 32 on
That's
Twitter.
it.
Yep.
Oh, different Matt Harvey.
Different Matt Harvey.
Different Matt Harvey.
Yeah. We met him in spring training 2019, I want to say.
Yep.
Yeah. Jake's takes?
Just really looking forward to the clip Jeremy cuts of Jay Hay saying Dallas has headphone problems, and then Dallas just spiking them right into the ground.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash that retweet button until I need a new cell phone.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great clip. Final thoughts from me. Really looking forward to finding out why Dallas thinks that Craig Breslow is such a naughty boy. I want to know.
Fuck yeah.
I want to know the story there. There's something there. So we're going to find that out after the show is over. And on Monday, I will let you know my findings right here on Baseball is Dead. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Enjoy your weekend of baseball. I know you have friends that are baseball fans. I know you do. Please tell them about Baseball is Dead as we are now entering that fun part of the year where every game matters for those in contention as we creep towards postseason October baseball. This is when it gets fun. This is when it gets exciting. So if you have a baseball fan in your life or several, tell them about us and let's grow this audience together. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Monday.
We gone.